What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dirty Water Racing channel. So, let me just say, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody out there. I hope they had a good Christmas. I hope you enjoyed all the gifts you got. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a video on one of the gifts that I got from my wife this Christmas. And let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed. So, we got this Omnipro 220 MIG TIG stick DC unit from Harbor Freight. Does 120 and 240. It comes with the MIG gun, the stick lead, and all the optional accessories, the TIG torch, the spool gun, and the foot pedal. Now you need the spool gun because this is a DC welder, therefore you need the spool gun to weld with the aluminum stuff. It comes with a couple rolls of wire that you can use from the get-go, but we'll probably get some mill wire or something like that and upgrade it because they say sometimes the wire that comes with this isn't so good, but the welder itself is. So we're gonna get this thing unboxed to show you what's inside, and I'm kind of excited to get started with using this thing. So we'll go ahead, I'm ready to get this thing unboxed. Congratulations on your purchase. All the literature for it. We got the stick electrode holder, ground clamp. Looks like we got some accessories here. The gas hose, the MIG gun, and the rest of the accessories. And last but not least, the welder. I do have to say this thing is a stout unit, and that's why I've been looking at this, been reviewing it a lot. A lot of people like them, especially in the TIG. If you want to use it as a TIG, DC TIG for mild steel, stainless steel, people love it. Has some good auto set features as far as setting it up for the gauge of steel, speed, voltage, amperage, stuff like that. So we got all the stuff for it. It has some pretty good instructions on how to do everything, how to set everything up. All your MIG, TIG, stick. It gives you all your duty cycles and how long it'll run for. It'll give you all your settings for MIG, how to set it up, your TIG settings, what type of gas you should use, which is argon, 100% argon, and then it pretty much auto sets everything for you. Usually a MIG welder will have a chart here and it'll say the gauge of steel, the type of steel, the settings, gas settings, and then type of wire, which I'm pretty sure is in the manual down there. But with this, you set the gauge of steel, the type of steel, and then it pretty much does all the work for you. Components are really nice, cast. You got your dents leads. The good thing about this welder is if I want to use the TIG torch off of the AHP, I can take this TIG torch in the gas and I can move it over to this Vulcan and I can plug them in, gas fitting there, and then plug the torch lead in here, and then I can use this to DC TIG. I probably won't use it regularly to do any TIG welding, but I might try it just to see how well it does. I've heard good things about it. We have the AHP, which is the AC/DC, so we don't really need to worry about this. We mainly got this to MIG weld. Very, very well built hardware and everything on it's really nice set up. The knobs have a really good feeling. The home button, all the dents connectors are really good. It's got a power button in the front here. You have a gas connection in the main plug. The nice thing about these Vulcans is that it's not a fixed lead for the power source. So if you had a different 220 volt plug, like we have this on another welder, that we were using in my buddy's shop. So you could technically, if for some reason this was your style, of 220 connector, or let's say the 120 to 220 plug. You could change it up if you want and put your own there. You don't have to use the fixed connector like in the back of the Alpha TIG. It's built into the actual unit itself. We'll go ahead, we'll start getting these accessories taken out, and you'll just go through the accessories real quick, and then we'll go from there. This is the first accessory case. We got the regulator. Pretty sure it's just a generic Chinese regulator. It's got the adapter. This is actually nice. Some tanks have a male side instead of a female side like this. So you use this adapter and you put this adapter on the male side, and then you can adapt your regulator into there. That's a really nice feature. I didn't know it came with that, but if you ever came across a tank that did have the male outlet, then this would work. Then we have the regulator. It's actually a pretty decent material. Argon CO2 regulator. So you could do your machine will connect there, that will connect to your tank, and then you have your pressure gauges here, and then you have your front adjustment. Go in the front like that. That'll adjust all your gauges and all your pressures. Then you have your solid wire and flux core wire and gas hose in here. So this is the gas hose. It's about the same quality as you would see in pretty much any other of these like budget style welders. They're not bad. It's what's on the hose for the TIG welder for the AHP. So these are about the same quality, so that's not bad. It lasts, as far as I've used it for a couple years now on this one, it's lasted for a while. Then you got your flux core wire and your solid wire. So the flux core wire you would use if you were using no gas, and the solid wire you would use if you were wiring with gas. Oh, sorry, if you are welding with gas. Then we got in here, this should be the MIG gun, accessories, the cups. Yeah, so we got the MIG gun. These are actually pretty decent quality from the different budget MIGs that I've seen around. You even have they give you a dust cap for the tip of the torch. So that's pretty cool. It's got a wire saver on it. Everything's pretty decent quality. There's two different wire size tips in there, so you can put one or the other. You got your 120 plug, and then you have your 220 or 240 plug here, which plugs right into the back of the unit itself. You have the roller, which is for different wire gauges. If you're using different wire gauges, you can pop this in. I think this is 045. So if you were using 045 wire, you would pop this thing into the machine on the side over here, and then you'd go ahead and use your different size wire if you wanted to use a different size wire. I just noticed this now. With the placement of this, it's going to be hard to get this open with the tanks being here. So we might shift these to that end of the cot, get this open and closed. Not that big of a deal, but we'll see about that later. I don't think I need to take these out, but this is the ground lead. This is actually not bad. Your run-of-the-mill ground leads like that one can get kind of cheap, but I'd have to say that this one's actually pretty decent quality. I might actually use this with my AHP TIG welder because the dinch connector is the same size. So that's nice. Very, very decent quality ground lead. So that's a plus. But other than that, that's the new introduction to the Vulcan MIG welder, the OmniPro 220 MIG welder. It does MIG, it does TIG, it does stick. A DC only machine. 240 or 120 or 220 or 110, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully in the next video, we'll get this thing started up. We got some power run already, so we'll just get this thing plugged in the next time we get a chance, and we'll get it fired up and we'll start messing with the settings and welding some stuff. As I said in the header video, we should be starting to weld stuff up soon. So this is a huge plus because this will help us with a lot of the frame rail stuff and a lot of the meaty stuff that we don't want to necessarily TIG weld and go from there. But other than that, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you've been tagging along and watching the channel, thank you. I appreciate it. If you know anybody that would like watching the channel, shoot them a share link and tell them to come subscribe to the page, because we're about to start laying down some dimes to get this thing done. Alright guys, we'll catch you later.